Hello again, everybody. My name is Nathan, or ELEMENTofFROST. Welcome back to yet another episode prediction video for this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 6, Episode 3, entitled, Thank You. That is right, everybody. It's what are they thanking us for? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, as always, spoilers are contained inside of this video, so if you guys have not seen up until Season 6, Episode 2, JSS, do not watch this episode predictions. I'm predicting the next episode. I mean, it's fairly obvious. It really is. So if you guys don't want to, be spoiled or anything like that, just don't watch the video. Go catch up on the season, come back in preparation for this week's upcoming episode on Sunday, October the 25th, which, by the way, I'm very, very excited for. This is going to be Season 6, Episode 3, like I said, entitled Thank You. Okay, so as always, we're going to start off with the synopsis. This one's a short one, so don't expect anything too detailed or anything like that, because literally it's a quite literal synopsis of the episode. So the synopsis on AMC.com goes as follows. A return home doesn't go as expected. And that is all. That's literally it. That's the end of the synopsis. So Season 6, Episode 3, thank you. A return home doesn't go as expected. So right off the bat, we don't have a lot of information, so this is going to be a little bit shorter of a video compared to most of my predictions and stuff like that. I'm just going to go over general things that could happen in this episode, maybe some character deaths, stuff like that. Yeah, so let's get started, I guess, with the promo, guys, with the promo. So the promo starts off, if you guys want to see the promo and the sneak peek, there's only one sneak peek, one promo. Links will be down in the description below if you guys want to check those out before I go over them. But anyway, basically in the promo, it looks to me shit is going down. It really is. So in the promo, we get to see at the start, Rick basically running down a road, basically trying to get home, is what I'm, assuming. He's basically running for his life, either that or he's running to try to get home and save, his family, stuff like that. It's fairly obvious. Obviously, Carl's back there at Alexandria, and so is Judith. So no matter what, he can't just, hightail it out of there and be like, I'm leaving everything behind. You know what? We'll just start over. Alexandria's done for. That's it. Not going to happen. Carl and, Judith, they're back there at Alexandria, and he needs to go save them. And obviously he has the rest of his family as well, that being like the people that were left behind there. So Morgan, he showed up there, Carol, people like that. So anyway, in this promo, so he's running down the street, assuming like he's running home. We hear Rick dialogue in the background as we go over some other clips and stuff like this. He's basically saying, we can't wait. We have to be fast. Stuff like this. I'm not going to go down quote for quote, but he basically says, we have to get home. There's no going back. Stuff like that. We have to get home. If there's anything in front of you, you kill it, is basically what he's saying. So if there's any danger, if there's any threat, there's anything in your way of getting home to your people, to your family, and actually saving them, you kill it. You go right through it, whether that be a person or whether that be walkers. So, if there's anything in front of you, you kill it. Very good words of advice. I'm not sure about for people who actually don't really know how to fend off walkers too well, like the new ones. Well, not really the new ones in Alexandria. They've been there a while. They're older than Rick and stuff like that, but they don't know how to survive. They don't know how to even take out a walker. We've seen that, before. So yeah, it looks to me like they sort of maybe got home. Glenn and his people are in a town, the people he's with. I'm not sure if that's Alexandria or another town off in the distance. What happens in the sneak peek kind of leads me to believe that it's another town that he's just kind of held up in right now or something like that. But Heath is with them. It looks like Michonne is there as well. As Nicholas and Glenn. Glenn's trying to basically keep a girl on her feet. I don't know what happened to her. She might have just hurt her ankle, something like that. She could have gotten bit. Although their group doesn't really have any tolerance for people who are bit, so if she was bit, she would probably be already put down. So I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you, rather, that she just hurt her ankle. Maybe she twisted it, something like that. Something like that obviously happened, and Glenn's just helping her. Try to get back to safety, stuff like that, because that's what kind of a person Glenn is. He doesn't leave any behind. He doesn't ever pull a Shane on Otis. You know what I mean? That's not Glenn. That's not what he is. So I'm very, very excited to see more of Heath this episode, and it looks like Nick's sort of stepping up to the plate as well. He seems to be in front of the group. Obviously Glenn helping the girl with the arm over his shoulder, stuff like that. So Glenn's sort of tied up at the moment. It looks like Nick's sort of taken point in a way. I'm not really sure if that's just the way they cut it. Maybe Nick kind of stepped forward or something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe he was just in the front. But it looks to me like he's taking point. It looks to me like he's turning around, turning the leaf, if you will. And I'm actually very, very excited for that. Now, as far as Nick goes in the comic book, there was characters similar like him, but there was never a Nick, if I do remember correctly. So he is sort of nice to the TV show. So maybe, him getting a second chance, maybe even a third chance by Glenn, is definitely good for him. I think he'll make for a good character in the coming season. Whether or not he makes it that long, well, I guess that's up to the producers. But anywho, that's what's going on in the promo. We see Rick, we see Michonne. Michonne's in like a building or some sort of a shack type thing, and we see walkers starting to surround him. Michonne basically just, says they're coming. Whether or not that means the wolves or the walkers, again, we have yet to determine. I'm very excited to see if we're going to see any more of the wolves this episode, or are they done for now? Are they regrouping and going to attack at a later date? Or are they going to try to attack directly again? I mean, attacking directly again would be a smarter move. Everybody's kind of reeling from the last attack, stuff like that. It would probably make for a pretty smart plan just to attack immediately with like new people, stuff like that. It would probably be a pretty smart plan, but I just don't think something like that is basically going to happen. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, especially with people in their group, strong people like Michonne, Glenn, Rick, just to name a few, Morgan, Carol, people like that, just especially with people like that in their group, I just don't think that they would, even then, after they've hurt them in a way, they've attacked their group already once in the last episode. I still don't think that with a weak group, even after an attack, I just don't think Rick's group would lose. You know what I'm saying? I think Rick's group is just, they're too strong now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think, in my personal opinion. So even being weak, and them even not even technically being weak, them just sort of being, let down, I guess, after an immediate attack. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is going to happen. Maybe it's definitely a theory. So I mean, it's out there. So if you guys want to expand on that in the comment section, definitely feel free to do so. But anywho, yeah, that's that. Moving on now. The sneak peek, stuff like that, guys. The promo, everything like that. So as I said in the promo and stuff like this, the promo looks very, very exciting in its own right. It really does. It looks absolutely, I want to say riveting. I don't want to sound like a pretentious douchebag, though, when I say riveting. So it definitely does look exciting in its own right, just the promo alone, the 30-second promo. So definitely, like I said, check it out. All right, so as for the sneak peek now, guys, again, link will be in the description below if you guys want to check it out. It's about 50 seconds, give or take. It looks very exciting. It really does, and it's just Rick running down a road. Now, I think this sneak peek, this portion of the episode will take place at the beginning of the episode, if I had to guess. If we remember some episodes before of The Walking Dead, they sometimes start off the episodes with, something happening in the future of that episode, if you know what I mean. So, for example, back in season 4? Back in season 5, no, it was definitely season 5. At the beginning of one of the episodes, I can't remember exactly the number, so I apologize for that. But in one of the episodes, we seen Daryl and Carol sort of in a hospital, or something of that sort, and we see them run into Noah. And then after that, it cuts to a new portion of the episode, and we actually get to come back to that later, in the scenes, basically. We get to revisit that, but from a different timeline, in a way. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain it the best I can, but anyway, that's what I think is going to happen. So it's going to be Rick running down the road, trying to get back to Alexandria. That's how the sneak peek actually starts out. We don't actually know what he's doing. I'm assuming he's running back to Alexandria. I mean, it would be the smart plan. Try to get back there, save your family. Obviously, he can't just, ducktail and run the other way because, Carl and Judith is back there at Alexandria still. and he just doesn't know what's happening. So even if a place like that falls, he always needs to go check it out. It's standard. That's what you need to do. Especially if you're a parent, you'd understand. So, anywho, yeah, that's that. So he's definitely running towards Alexandria, or at least trying to save Alexandria in some sort of way. But anyway, he's running down the road, and we hear Glenn on the walkie trying to talk to him, and I assume that he would have talked back, although he ran into some walkers. So he's basically listening to Glenn at this point, and Glenn's saying, he's held up in a town, which again, that's what it kind of looks like in the promo. So he's held up in a town with his group, stuff like that, and he's going to try to light a fire to basically try to lure the zombies, or the walkers rather, away from Alexandria. He's going to try to distract them in a way. That's what he's going to try to do. Maybe some fireworks, maybe just a big fire with a bunch of smoke, something like that. It definitely could work. It's definitely a good strategy. It's probably one of the only plays that they got, in all honesty. It's a herd of walkers. They can't really take on a herd of walkers. I mean, the walls at Alexandria are big, and they can withstand some stuff, but I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. So anyway, in the sneak peek, again, we get to see Rick running down the road. He comes into contact with a herd of walkers, or not really a herd, but a few of them. And it looks like these few walkers actually took down maybe an Alexandrian, maybe somebody else. We just don't know. We didn't really see him. All we seen was somebody actually getting eaten on the ground by about 3 walkers. And it looks like he tried to take one of them out, because there's actually like a machete or a knife sticking through one of the walkers' backs and going through into their chest and outside of their chest. So it's kind of like going through them through and through in a way. So like the handle of the knife sticking out his back, and the front end of the blade is sticking out of his chest. Now, that in general would not be that much dangerous of a scenario, but what we get to see Rick, come into contact with is probably not the best, at least for his health. So Rick, he takes out 2 of the walkers, and he's left with the walker with the knife or the machete coming through his chest, stuff like that. And it's probably not the most safest thing in the world, because we actually get to see Rick basically take out the walker. The walker's attacking him, so he puts his hand up on his chest, and unfortunately, he cut his hand on the blade. So that blade previously went through the walker, through and through, basically, and out the other side. So it does have walker goo and walker guts and stuff all like that all over it. Anyway, he took down the walker, shoved a knife in its head, took down the walker, stuff like that. So the walker is dead, but he did cut his hand. It's kind of like his, not his palm, but the other side, the backhand, I guess. He cut his hand on the other side, like I said, on the backhand. I'm not sure exactly the termination for that. I guess it'd be just the backhand, or the back of his hand, whatever. Anyway, he cut it, and, he looks to be in some pain. He's kind of sitting there looking at it, like, fuck, why the hell did I do that? Sort of just regretting it. Anyway, he's still listening to Glenn on the walkie. That's where Glenn tells him that he's going to try to light a fire, basically saying, I'm going to try to distract him. If you don't see a fire, just get back to Alexandria and try to hold it down, stuff like that. And, so anyway, we get to see Rick cut his hand with a walker blade. Now, as you guys may or may not know, it's not really infection like that, you know what I'm saying? So we could assume that the walker, if we didn't already know the rules of the walker apocalypse is the zombie apocalypse. If we don't already know the rules, basically saying, everybody already has the infection inside them. No matter how you die, you turn. The bite actually turns you. Nothing else does, basically. That the bite doesn't actually turn you. It just kills you. It burns you out. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you die, and then the infection that's already inside of you brings you back as a walker. So yeah, we know that walker guts and stuff like that doesn't really have an effect. And the reason why we know that is because back in season 3, episode 6, if I'm reminiscing correctly, when Michonne was being chased down by Merle, being hunted down for the governor, stuff like that, when Michonne basically left Woodbury, Michonne was being attacked by a walker, and she sort of was below the walker was standing over, and she sliced the walker's belly open with her sword, with her katana, and, guts all poured onto her and in her mouth, stuff like that. And I can't assume, that something like that would be really contagious or dangerous in a way, especially when she pretty much ate the walker guts, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really think that would, turn him or make him die or anything like that. But I mean, I guess if they did flip the rules, Rick could be dead. Definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. It would be fucking weird if it did, but definitely not going to happen. So anyway, we get to see him cut his hand, so we'll definitely have to see him struggle with that on his way back as well to trying to save Alexandria. So again, he's trying to save Alexandria, and he's doing it now with a limp, sort of like a... Yeah, anyway. Moving on from that, that is pretty much it. That's the sneak peek. That's the promo, everybody. I think that we are going to maybe see some more of the Wolves, like I said before. It would be a good idea for the Wolves to attack directly after they already attacked once. It probably definitely wouldn't be a bad idea, but whether or not we'll see it, I guess we'll find out in this upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. And yeah, that is pretty much it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to hit the video with a like, share it with friends. Tell me in the comment section below what you guys want to see from me. Also, speak in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen in this upcoming episode. Very, very excited for it. Hopefully you are too. And yeah, that has been the episode predictions for Season 6, Episode 3, entitled Thank You. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. And subscribe if you haven't already. If you guys only watch my reviews and predictions, tune in Monday, October 26th for my review video of Season 6, Episode 3, entitled Thank You. If you guys watch all my videos or something like that, if you're not subscribed yet, what the fuck you doing? You know, hit that button. And tune back in tomorrow for Zur Day for Destiny, and also Hard Mode Raid comes out tomorrow for King's Fall. So I'll definitely post some gameplay of that either tomorrow or Saturday. Very excited for that as well. So anyway, that is it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.